This turbocharged Hellcat makes over 1,000 wheel horsepower, has a manual transmission, and can be yours for the low price of $50,000. And it does come with a rather large catch. What if I told you this was a very famous or infamous YouTube car? See, this car in question, well, it was built by the good folks over at Scrap Life Garage, specifically Scrap Life Dalt. And if you happen to be a fan of their channels, you know right off the rip that this thing probably doesn't have the stock engine under the hood, because it's actually powered by every JDM fanboy's most favoritist of engines, the 2JZ. But that does bring up the question, why? Well, part of the reason why is because this particular Challenger chassis was purchased under a salvage title due to theft. And the second part of this equation is Scrap Life Lee, who was building a Mark IV Supra with a Hellcat engine, needed a whole mess of Hellcat wiring, parts, little miscellaneous stuff, you get the idea. So by the time he was done rating this particular Challenger for all of the parts he needed, it left it as sort of a engineless, transmissionless husk. Now we'll get to the absurdity of a 2JZ calling a Challenger home in just a moment. However, this is no ordinary 2J. So the bottom end in this particular 2J was built by Brian Roche, and the good folks over at Head Games did a pocket port on the head, and it comes with GSC cams. The whole thing is controlled by Fuel Tech. It has a Garrett turbocharger and pretty much every 2J goodie you could possibly want. And like I said in the beginning, this car does come with 3 pedals, which means a manual transmission, specifically a T56 built by Garanis Racing. Yes, that Garanis Racing. And when you put all of that together, this car made 1,050 horsepower at the hubs, and like I said, it can be yours for the low price of $50,000. And there's probably 3 different types of people who look at this thing and think several different types of thoughts. The first group of people are obviously your Hellcat purists. They're going to look at a Challenger Hellcat without a Hellcat and think it's high heresy. The second group of people are going to be your 2JZ enthusiasts. Some of them are going to love it, some of them are going to look at it and you could have put it in any car, but you decided to put it in a heavy-ass Challenger. And then there's finally the third group of people and the most likely buyers for this potential car, and those are the people who just like weird stuff. But this is far from a finished car. While it does run, it does move under its own power, it does make all the requisite turbocharged 2J noises, there is some work left to be done. Chief among which being the wiring, specifically the CAN bus system. Things like the interior lights staying on for no apparent reason, and the power steering not wanting to work under 5 miles an hour. And while this thing is plumbed to have cold AC, it's not currently working at the moment. So if you happen to like weird cars, are good with CAN bus systems, happen to know a lot about Mopar wiring, this might be the car for you. If you're a purist, you probably clicked off this video a long time ago.